Hello guys, this is Becca, and I want to share with you what I have done. I have made me a glue book out of junk mail envelopes. You know how you just get junk mail and you know they'll have the envelope, unused envelopes in there, and what am I trying to say? Excuse me, my mind just went blank. So, like for you to send back whatever it is, you know, that they want you to order or whatever. Hush, baby. I even keep them like out of bills that I pay online, but they send me the paper bill. Hey! Hush! Hush! Alright guys, no promises that they're through. See, they didn't hardly bark at all. Just maybe one little yip while the camera was off. Now they're going to start again. It's like they hear me talking and they show out like kids. That's my dogs, showing out like kids. But anyway, I made me a glue book out of the envelopes that you would send back, orders or payments or whatever. Guys, I am so sorry. So what I did was I took the envelopes and I've made like an accordion type. It doesn't necessarily have to be all the same size as far as length, but they do need to be pretty much the same size and width. You don't want one big one, and unless you was to have the big ones on the ends to be like your covers, but it being the accordion type, I'm fixing it where I can just continue to add to it. It's not going to have a binding that will, you know, keep it where you just turn it like a book. It's going to be where I can just open it and where I can continue to add to it. So that being said, you would want all of your middle pages to be pretty much the same size, and if you're going to add to it, you know, you don't want some that's too wide. You know, if they're just like a fraction of an inch, that's one thing, but you don't want a big old envelope with put in mess with all these. So to show you, and I'm probably way behind time. You all have probably already done this, and I'm just behind time. I did stop crafting for a while. One reason being, just like my dogs. Every time I get on video, it's either one interruption or another. I am constantly being interrupted once I get started crafting, and it's like nobody wants me to craft around here. So I got so discouraged and upset with it that I quit crafting for a while. It just got to where every time I come in here I was interrupted. I couldn't keep my train of thought. Of course, back then I was scrapbooking, and I have to really be able to concentrate to put together a scrapbook page. And I would get interrupted and have to stop what I was doing. When I come back to it, I'd be lost my train of thought, have no clue what I had planned to do, have to rethink it all over again. And it just got so frustrating and depressing till I quit crafting. I just completely quit crafting for a while, all except for doing my planner and doing the diamond painting. But I've decided to go back to crafting, as you know, but I'm not going to be scrapbooking unless I just do some kind of simple little scrapbook like this, putting together a junk journal scrapbook type thing. But as far as making big, elaborate scrapbook pages, right now I can't deal with that with all the interruptions. I've got to do something that I can it's not going to bother me if I get it, I mean, as far as my train of thought, that it's not going to interrupt my train of thought if I have to stop and go do something else. So, the way I've made this where it will be accordion style is I lay out my envelopes like this one is what I'd call the back down. Then this one I'm going to lay where the front is down and put the flap up under this one, and that's where I'm going to glue it. Then the next envelope, I'm going to lay it with the back down on top of here and glue that down. As you can see, there's a difference in the length, but like I said, that's okay, except for you do want to try to keep them straight, not have them kind of going up stair step kind of way. And I'll show you how I kind of straighten that out. But as far as the length, that's fine. You just want the width to be pretty much close to the same width. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead, and I use just plain old Elmer's school glue, and I do have the washable kind, but the next time I get it, I can't remember what it's called, permanent glue. It's Elmer's glue. I can't remember. It's not really like the school glue like kids use in school. If I can find it, I'm gonna get that kind next time. You know, just, I mean, I have no problem with the Elmer's sticking and working, but I thought I would try the other kind next time. Okay, so I'm just gonna put some glue on this flap, and for some reason that's not wanting to come out. And now I am, since this one is smaller in length than this one, I'm gonna make sure I get it pretty close to the middle. I mean, you know, you don't have to like take measurements, but you want it pretty close in the middle of the previous envelope. So there we go. So that folds that way. Now we're going to take this one, and we want it to be able to fold this way. So it's longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and since I'm doing it on this side, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close up my book. So I can see this one here is going to go right here like this. So I'm going to want it to be pretty close. So I'm turning it to where it's the back side now. I've got it put together, closed up, and this is the back of it, that where it comes out to the right when you open it up, and that's where it goes. Now you can see this envelope, I'm probably going to trim this envelope once I get it glued, because it is a bit bigger, longer, and I don't want it that much longer than this purple one. I want to keep them at least the purple size, no larger. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it down, and then I will trim it. So what I do to make sure I got that right is I'm going to go ahead and close it up and, you know, kind of get it measured on there. I like to do it that way, that way, that way, kind of get it on there where it will be straight. Open it up, and then you see you have your section here. I'll bring that down. It didn't go down quite far enough. Bringing it down to the edge of this one. And see, it doesn't go. You've got some of your flap still over here that's not under this envelope. That is keeping it even with, you know, because it's a little bit wider, is keeping it even with the rest of the envelopes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this side up. I'm going to put, I got to open my glue before it'll work. Make sure I keep that straight. I'm going to put my glue over here on this side. and close it back. And this being wet glue, you can still position it. So I'm going to close this back, and I'm going to try to get it as close to the edges of those as I can. And see, make sure there's no glue coming out where that will stick together. Okay, let's make sure this side didn't stick. It was. That's what I have my rag here for. Okay, now to trim that, I'm going to turn this over, and there's my purple envelope. And what I'm going to do is just trim this right here like this. And there is my glue book. So now I can open it this way if I want to. I'm not going to use the pockets. I'm going to glue over that. This will be one spread, so whatever I put will cover that one section. So you can, and then that's where it starts back. See? And you know, it's kind of hard to do it because some envelopes are smaller than in width than the others. You know, even just a fraction of an inch makes a difference. So you can do it that way, and then you can, you know, you would do it this way to see the other side. Like that. Or, this being the front, you can just take it and you can open it up accordion style and look at that side and flip it over and look at the other side. Now, the thing about doing it this way is, like I said, you can add to it as you go. Like I have used all of my envelopes that I have in now. As more junk mail comes in, I can just add envelopes to the end of here and just continue and just make it as thick as I want it. I can have a thick book when I get through if I want to. I will start here. This will be my cover. It will be the front, and then I will decorate this whole thing. Then my next spread will be this whole section here. I'm going to glue this down, since this one, like I said, I'm not using pockets. These are not going to be pockets. So that's glued down, and whenever I do my page, it will, you know, hold the pocket down, or you can put your little strip of glue if you want to. However you want to do it. Personally, I'm just going to leave it and glue my paper over it like that. And there is you a envelope glue book. You get a glue book that you can continue to add to and make it as thick as you want it. You don't have to go out and purchase a notebook or any kind of book. You don't have to use a magazine. You can keep your magazine to use for images to use in your glue book. And so that's what I'm going to be doing with that. I think I have already showed you this book that I have made. Let me grab it real quick right here, if I can find it. Here it is. Now, I've got two here, which I know I have showed you this one. This one was a catalog that you take a catalog, which I showed you this on already on a video. But you just take a magazine or a catalog and you cut it in half right here. So therefore you have two glue books if you want just small glue books to take with you somewhere. And so that made you two glue books. Now, because it's short this way, if you want it to stay long that way, that's fine. Or if you want it where it's more, what would you call it? compact, compact. Then what you would do is you're going to take your pages and you're just going to take and turn them. I think I've already glued that one down. You just take and turn your pages down. Don't put it all the way to the edge because you got to have room, you know, for when you're closing it. So you want to leave it like maybe 1/4 of an inch from the edge when you turn each page down. You will do that all the way to the middle. Then when you get to the middle of the magazine or catalog, whichever one you're using, let me see if I can find the middle. Okay, you're going to start, when you get to the middle of it, you're going to start turning the pages this way instead of this way. That just kind of keeps it balanced out. Where I haven't started using this, I do have a glue book that I have started using. Let me grab it real quick. So this is the one I'm using here, and you can have different like glue books that you want to use for different type things that you want to put in it. So this one I am using for inspirational quotes. This here is a piece from a calendar that had some little inspirational quotes, and I'm going to try to, whatever I put here, I'm going to try to have it where there's an inspirational quote on every page. Now these here I had started before I decided, oh, I'm going to do that as inspirational quotes, and it's just like full pages. I just started. I may go back and just put me a little strip of paper and write me a little quote on it, just so I can have a book that as I flip through each page, it has either a scripture from the Bible or an inspirational quote on it that I can read and see. This is just, these here are the pages from the calendar. And then here starts, you know, that's as far as I got. Sorry, guys. So that is my inspirational quote book. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to use this one for. This one here is just, I have an animal one that I'm working on. Someone gifted me this notebook, and it has this like a alligator or whatever he is on there, and it says roar. So I said this would be good to use for my animal glue book. So I'm just putting pages in here of different animals, and so these are from calendars also. But just all I'm going to put in this one is pictures of different type animals or fish or wildlife, you know, birds, fowl, whatever. But it's going to be just animal type. And so that's that one. Then this one I'll just use, you know, just for gluing, whatever. Then this one here, and I may have showed you this. This here is simply from I picked up a bunch of extra stuff here that I didn't need yet. Alright, I'm trying to figure out which way this goes. Alright, this here is just simply from junk mail. And you know how you get brochures in the mail and things like that. Well, this here is a big page brochure that came in the mail, and so all my extra little pieces, you know, they're all different sizes, but I wanted to keep it at a certain size, that so I turned up like a little flap. And then this here will be the front, and this will be the closure. Now the closure, I'm gonna you know, as it grows, as I get more items in there, this being as big as it is, it's going to give me more room to have a closure there. Now these are just, you know, like I said, the junk mail that comes in. What I'm going to do with these is I'm going to gesso them and then paint them, and then I will put it together as a glue book. So once I do that, I will share that with you. If I have a paper that's too big, again, I will just make a flap like that. And once I get these papers gessoed and painted like I want them, I will show you how I'm going to put it together. But I just wanted to do that and share with you how you can make glue books without using your actual magazines that you would need to use for images, and how you can recycle your junk mail. You know, all this junk mail just goes in the trash. Just so why not take them and make something useful out of it? And when you get through, it's going to be pretty. It's not going to look like this. You know, it's going to be pretty because you're going to be making pretty glue pages, and it's going to be something pretty to look at. And so I wanted to share that with you. I hope this video isn't too long, that it's going to take me forever to get it up. But I wanted to share with you what I'm doing. And like I said, I may be behind time. Most of y'all may, or all of you may already have done this. I haven't seen it. I tried to look it up. I haven't seen any videos. I mean, I have seen like where they made journals out of envelopes, but they were all the same size envelopes. They had a certain, you know, way of doing it. This was just my own idea to make it accordion style, and using the different size envelopes and stuff like that. So I wanted to share that with you, and I liked the part that you can just continue to add to it. Just as you get more envelopes in the, you know, in your junk mail, just add it to it. Just continue to add to it, and you will, you know, until you get it as thick as you want it. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope I may have given someone some ideas that they didn't have before. I'd like to know that I was a help to someone. But anyway, thank y'all so much for stopping by. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will talk with you later.